Welcome everyone, I'm Lord Ridiculous, and this is a basic guide to Astroneer, which is a space-based sandbox adventure game developed by System Era Softworks. So basically, your player is tasked with colonizing planets, creating structures, and mining resources. So there's no set goal really in Astroneer, there's no storyline, it's an early access game, but it is a hell of a lot of fun. I've set here a guide of my basic tips on how to get started and how to survive in this world. So I hope you find this useful. If you do, hit the like button and leave a comment. Thank you and enjoy. So first things first, this is your pod. Essentially you can use this to save at any time by pressing tab when you're near it. This is your Astroneer. Say hi. Okay, hi. Basically, there are a few things to learn at the very, start at the get-go. If you hover over him, it gives you the compass, north, south, east, and west. Easy enough. As you can see, you're connected to the pod by this blue line. This blue line is abstract or imaginary at times. In essence, it goes away. It only has a certain area of effect. Once you get outside that area, you will have a limited time to use your oxygen that's in your tank. So the oxygen is the blue, power is the yellow. If you find any kind of nodes like this that are yellow, that means it will give you extra power. If they're blue, you will get extra oxygen. These replenish themselves. And how you get them is by pressing E to select your terrain tool. Mouse button, hit the terrain tool, it takes the power from it, from the actual node. Okay, as you can see now, when you basically build up or remove the power from here, it goes and puts a little kind of cube into your backpack. Okay, if I walk back towards, see my oxygen's running low, if I walk back towards my pod, it's filling up again from this blue line. Now, this is neat. You are given certain amounts of resources to collect, okay? So if I move away again, this is called compound. Compound is very important. It's used to build machines, it's used to build tethers. Tethers is the first thing you'll need to get to grips with, because they essentially elongate your level or your area, of journey, of travel. When you create tethers, they essentially give you a lifeline. They connect you to the pod, which gives you a bigger distance to walk and travel. I'll show you what I mean right now. So to craft anything, or to use or to see what's in your backpack, you press Q. So now this is the backpack. You can hold the right mouse button to move around while still in that menu. Down the bottom here is a kind of a crafting menu. So compound can build, if you go around, you get lithium to build a battery, compound to build tethers, tank, generator, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. It tells you what you need. So we need tethers, just to show you, because this is the first thing you should do. So I'm going to craft some tethers. One block of compound can build 11 tethers. So again, oops, what did I do there? So 11 tethers. You can move any piece around the place. There are two little extra nodes here, I guess, to put things if your inventory fills up. And yeah, enough compound to build 2 lots of 11 tethers. That's 22 tethers. So press Q again, get back into your backpack. Alright, let's place a tether by pressing T, as it says here. So now, as you see, I'm connected to this, which effectively increases where I can go. If I didn't have this, I would only be able to go as far as here. Let me show you. See? This is the distance I would have been able to go without having to watch and be mindful of my oxygen. Because this is at the start, this is what's going to kill you. Lack of oxygen. Main thing is going to kill you. That and storms. We'll come to storms later. But anyway, I'll place some more tethers, as you can see. So here, when you see the kind of translucent, imaginary, whatever you want to call it, line there, that's how far I can go before it will not connect properly, i.e. it won't be able to draw from the original source. So if I put this, for instance, here, when the line goes away here, as you can see, it's not connecting. I'm not picking up any oxygen. To correct that, simply just click on it with the left click, put it there, and then it connects. Happy days. So what do you do in Astroneer? Okay, well at the start you need to build out your base. And your base is pretty much built out from your little pod here. First thing you do is go to this little outlet or input here, and you click on it. This gives you a little kind of hologram which says resin. This is a common element that's around the place. You go look for it, you bring it back, and you put it here. And then that builds a little pod which gives you more options. So as you can see, I've built out my tethers away from my pod as I'm searching for resin, which is this purple looking strange mineral here. So you get out your terrain tool and you pretty much eat up or hoover up all the resin you can. Resin is very important to build out your base and to give yourself more options when it comes to producing and manufacturing vehicles and different tools. So as you can see, when you hoover up the resin with your terrain tool, it puts it in nice little bundles in a slot on your backpack. You can go over to the resin hologram and just simply click on it. It takes it from your backpack and it grows out your base. Then again, you have two more options here for resin. I picked up these two, click on it, and it gives you your first station. At this stage you get options to pick either a smelter, vehicle bay, printer, or research table. My recommendation is to either pick the research table or the smelter, as you only need compound to build them, whereas with the others you need to find aluminium or copper, which can be hard to find, and we'll go through later on how to find those kind of minerals. So again, I built out my tethers as I was exploring to find compound. So press E, hoover up any compound that I find. Be sure to hoover a little bit under the surface as well, because sometimes they have deposits that aren't apparent from the top. As you can see, I just got a warning saying low power. The reason being, if I go back to my little wonderful pod, it is now being drained by this as well. So you need to be mindful of the fact that this needs power as well as everything else. So there's a couple of ways to do this. Easiest way is to use a solar panel. This can be built using compound. Solar panel will only charge things during the day when the sun is out. So if you left it on the backpack there, it would power the backpack, but I don't want it there, I want it here. So now it's powering this, which is giving energy to this. In the early days, as you can see, I'm running out of power quite a bit. You can find these yellow little, I'm not even sure what you call them, plant things, and they will give you power also. There's also blue ones, which will give you oxygen. So be mindful to look out for them in the early days, because as you progress and you put tethers more and more around your immediate area, you won't need them as much. Okay, so now I've collected as much compound as I need. I can put them here to build either the smelter or the research table. Okay, so now that I have enough compound, I can click here and I have the option to either build a research table or a smelter. So the smelter pretty much smelts down any kind of ore you find and makes it into a mineral, like copper or aluminum or aluminium for anyone, you know, not from America or Canada. So, and the research table allows you to research any alien substance you find, which gives you options, additional options to build. It unlocks effectively items that you can build later on to progress your base. Well, as you can see, I built out the smelter. It is very good to give you options for copper and for aluminium, which you'll need when you're trying to build vehicles, etc. So that's the approach I'm going with. Now you need to power it up, so you can either, as I've said earlier, take from your backpack any power elements, which it will pretty much drain this power into it, or you could build a solar panel even, which I will do, which is more of a long-term solution. Okay, so that's the smelter set. Now, before I go foraging for ore to actually put into this, I will try to build out my base one more time to show you why we need the ore, or the minerals that the smelter produces. If we go to another one of these inputs and click on it, again, it'll give us a hologram for resin. When you go out, you mine some more resin. Remember that get all the resin you can. So go out with an empty backpack, because resin in the early game is very important, very essential to build out all these components of your base. As you see now, I'm running out of oxygen. I'm away from my base. I didn't build out my tethers, but you can see there's this ore deposit, like I said earlier on. The yellow ones are power, the blue ones are oxygen. So I've no more power left, but I have gained a good substantial bit of oxygen, so I can now continue my journey back without risk of suffocation. Okay, so now that I'm back, I have the resin, put the resin in, again it comes out, it elongates the line. You now have an option to put 2 more resin in. I have that, and it'll give you the same options as here. But this time I won't pick the smelter, I'll pick the research table. So I have 2 compound, I'm going to build myself a research table. Okay, so I've come back and I've pretty much put 1 resin in to grow this out of the pod. I put in 2 more resin to again get the module with the option. Now, I built this because what I want is to build the vehicle bay. So I need aluminium, or as it's spelled here and as they say in the States, aluminum. So I'm going to need to get some aluminum. To get this you need to go to caves, which means you need to build tethers out into caves, because you do not want to get trapped in a cave. So I'll be back in a sec once I've done that. Okay, so here's the nearest cave to me. I'm going to build out my tethers into it just to show you as I'm doing that. This is what you call a fucking storm. When you see these, you need to find them. I don't think I'm going to be quick enough. These can kill you. These can kill you big time. As you can see, I'm dying. You see storm? Get inside. So the storm has passed. I am now over at my dead body. You can collect it, or any inventory items you had there. Just click on them, shift click, press shift and click, and go straight in. If you don't do that, you'd have to move it manually, which is kind of tedious. So yeah, that's that. Now into the cave. So as you can see, I'm building tethers, joining them up, and going into the cave. You can build around corners, all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter, you just have to make sure that they're all connected. To get a lot of compound, build the tethers, and then descend into the depths of the cave, where you'll find a good portion of minerals. So, as you can see from above, I have tethered my way down into the cave. Now, the cave is awash with colour, it's awash with dangers. These creatures here, or organisms, or whatever you want to call them, they spit out this green gas, and you get too close, the gas will kill you, so be careful of them. We have organisms that we can actually pick up and put onto our research table, like this such item. If I bring this up all the way back and put on the research table, it will give me an extra modular add-on that I didn't already have, so it's an unlockable. There are these wonderful, wonderful oxygen berries. Oxygen berries, like that, I coined that. Or power berries, pretty much dotted around the cave. So see the way I've run out of tethers. If I didn't have compound, which I do, but I didn't have compound to make them, I could just run around. Once there's these blue, or yellow in this case, but there's blue ones over there. berries around, they will keep me replenished with oxygen. This here is the aluminum ore, so the unrefined material. Again, you just hoover it up like you would anything else in the game, and it makes the mineral for you. So just down here, so hoover it up. We can bring this back to the smelting table to actually make aluminium or aluminum. Here's some hydrazine, like the laterite, which was the aluminum raw unrefined ore. This is effectively a ore for fuel. I'm running out of power, so I'm just going to grab some of these berries. And here we have the malachite, which is the ore for the copper. So just to recap, the laterite, or the kind of red ore, is for aluminum. The yellow ore is for copper. This purpley ore, is for the hydrazine, which is for the fuel. So that's pretty much it. That's what we needed to show you down here. At the start, you do not need really to concern yourself with much else. Bring these back to the smelting table and get going. Okay, so now we're back at the smelter. It is now nighttime. It's got full power, so you basically press Q, get your backpack. I want some copper, so I'm using the malachite and the laterite. Use 3 numbers, 4 slots. Once you have all of your ores in there, you click on the middle mouse button, or the middle button even, and it gives you your... Oh, no power. Wonderful. Okay. Why didn't I check that? What's going on? Oh yeah, the storm. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, so I popped the last bit of juice I had into her, and now she's out of power again, but press shift on the actual refined minerals and you can now use them. So I have my vehicle bay, I've taken my aluminium from the smelter, I have it in my backpack. I click on the vehicle bay and then I create it using the aluminium. Okay, so I need to power up my vehicle bay. I will create a solar panel later on, but because the sun's not up, it's not going to be much effect now. So I've just taken some power from the nodes that I found near my base. This should power it up. And your vehicle bay is powered. So when you've powered up your vehicle bay, it will give you 2 options initially to build either a rover or a shuttle. In this case, I'm going to build a rover. So to do that, it tells you behind what you need. You need compound. We need to go and get some more fucking compound. Back in a sec. Okay, so okay, so after searching high and low, After searching high and low, I'm back with some compound. I almost suffocated, but it was worth it. Okay, so I put the compound in here, hit the I button, that's going to create me a wonderful, wonderful vehicle, the Rover. And here we have a Rover. So yeah, here we have our Rover without a seat, so now we need to create a seat. To create the seat, we need more compound. Oh dear, I'm going to be missing one. Oh no, have the compound. Let's go. I'm building my seat. Oh, this is so exciting. Here I have my first vehicle, which is the Rover. So like everything else, when you get into the Rover, it saves again. Oh shit. Not good, not good, not good, not good. So the Rover makes traversing the terrain easy, quick, but it also drains a lot of power. As you can see, I've run out of power already. So what I advise you doing is using the compound, make a solar panel like so, and attach it to one of the many inputs on the Rover itself. There is one on the front, there's one on the back here, there's two actually on top. You can add an extra seat here, or you can use these ones on top for carrying stuff like specimens back from the caves that you saw earlier. But as you can see here, it's recharging the power. You need this. You could have multiple solar panels if you wanted, depending on how much of a journey you're doing. Another useful use of the Rover is as a transportation device. So this is an unknown specimen that I found in the cave earlier on when I was hunting for some of those elusive ores. I can bring that back and research it by pretty much putting it on the two little inputs in the back. Click it on. Voila. Now bring it back to base. Back. The power went out on my Rover, which is a pain in the balls, but I noticed one thing. I said earlier that there's a limited amount of oxygen in the Rover. I think that's wrong. I believe that even if there's no power in the Rover, there's an unlimited amount of oxygen. Look, I am tethered to it. My oxygen isn't depleting. The oxygen in it is not depleting. This is a huge attribute of the Rover. It becomes a one-man effective station where you can just drive anywhere you want. And once you have which I have over here, a solar panel, you can keep yourself going. You can charge by day, and then if you put a couple on them, the charge will be a lot. So then by night, you can go on your merry way. So here we have it charging. Wonderful, wonderful thing. You need to get your Rover built as soon as you can. Okay, I'm going back now to research this specimen. Just look how beautiful this game is again. I'm sorry guys, but this is the game that No Man's Sky should have been. $20 to get you this game. And already I'm finding there's more content in this than there was in No Man's Sky. And although it has some frame issues at times, it looks absolutely amazing. Well done guys. Take a bow, developers. Take a bow. Right, to the research table. Okay, so I'm back. It is now, the Rover is charging up in the vehicle bay. I'm going to bring this specimen over to the research table. So this is how this works. You come to the research table, you plant your specimen in the middle, you have full charge, you press the middle I button, and it tells you basically what's inside. So in this case I've researched a rare item, titanium. Before I researched rare items was lithium. There have been times when I've researched items and I've gotten extra construction items. For instance, if I move my rover out of the way, you'll see that my options at the start were rover and shuttle, but when I researched one of those specimens, I also got the option to build a truck. So that leads me to believe that there can be multiple other options with vehicles. I also found that there's filters and condensers to be added onto my base. I don't know 100% what they do, but it adds to the longevity of the game, and obviously then to the various different things you can do in your base. So the last thing to show you is basically the other vehicle which you get at the start is the shuttle. So I built one earlier. This is one I've made earlier. Effectively, you build it the same as you build a rover. You have 4 compounds that you need. Then you have 1 seat at each side of the circular base. So down the bottom you have your engine. Then you have half of a cone shape with 1 seat, and the other half has another seat. So I presume this is for multiplayer where you and your buddy can get in and blast off. This gets you into orbit, and you orbit the world that you're in. You can land in various different spots, which I'll show you now in a second, or you can go to other planets. So that's 4 compounds you need for the bottom part with the thrusters, and 2 compounds for each of the seats. I'm going to use 1 seat because I'm only one guy. But before you jet off, you need to fuel your thruster. Now I've had half fueled already, but to show you how to fuel it, you use the hydrazine that you got earlier on, which is here, and we got that down. We're basically mining for ore. It was the purple ore, if you remember, and that fuels your thruster. Happy days. You could put extra ones if you want, but I know that's enough to get me around to show you guys the orbit. So here we go, and this is the last thing I'll show you, because to be honest guys, I've shown you all the basics you need to know to build your original base, to go out mining, to get the ores, to build your wonderful, wonderful rover, which will pretty much make exploration a lot easier, a lot more fun, and more manageable. I've also shown you how to tether, how to go into caves, how to pretty much avoid the weather, which is the storms, the climate change. I've given you the basics to progress in this game. After that, it's up to yourself guys what you do with this game. So now guys, let's jet out of this world and show you exactly what you're all missing by not playing this game. So we're in. Launching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are out of the atmosphere. We're stabilizing. We are now in orbit of our planet. Lights on. There's home. So now as you can see, these blue circles are places that I can land. I can click on these and land. If I don't want to land on my planet, what you do is simply press the orange button above the shuttle, and that gives you the options for other planets. So this is the planet I was on, called Turan. This is Baron, which is a moon by the looks of it. I believe that these outer planets will be accessible as the early access phase progresses, or the development phase even progresses. But for now I'll show you that we can go to Baron. So click on Baron. So there are multiple options to show you to go on our planet that we are there. So there's a lot of content, guys. A lot of content. As far as I can see, I've only been playing it what 5-6 hours now at this stage, but so far I'm enjoying it still. So we have one option here, so I click on that. See our fuel is depleting. Enough fuel to get home, so I won't be too worried. So now we land. Bit of lag, loading in the planet. Or the planet, it's a moon. Apologies. So, in the words of Mr. Neil Armstrong, this is what's it again? Shit, forgotten. This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. And here I am, on this moon. This is the game that No Man's Sky should have been. This is amazing. I hope you found this basic tutorial a little bit helpful. If you have, hit the like button, leave a comment. But this game is really what No Man's Sky should have been. And the only thing left to say is, I've been Lord Ridiculous, you've been awesome. Until next time, my friends. I'll see you soon, in a land far, far away.